Good morning, y'all. Back again with the continuation of the comic collecting chronology, the 2000 aughts forward. Maybe I shouldn't be making this video right now. It's about 6:45 in the morning, and I've only had one cup of coffee, but I gotta say I'm making it right now because I was literally dreaming about this stuff last night, and I woke up and it was fresh on my mind. So here we go. We're gonna wing it. I left off in the chronology talking about my amazement of the prices between raw graded copies and these newly slabbed copies that were happening on eBay at the time. You know, and my amazement about all that, I didn't quite understand what was going on. Anyway, Nick actually in his comments brought up a good point that I was meaning to talk to anyway about it in this continuation of the 2000 aughts and my early eBay years. eBay in the years 2000, circa 2000 to about 2005, I think, maybe 2006 at the very latest. Those years were definitely a buyer's market. Yeah, you can find some good deals now, but you really have to buckle down and scrutinize and know precisely what the fuck you're doing to find the deals. Back in the first half of the 2000 aughts, you could find ridiculous deals just spilling out in front of you every day, all the time. And in Nick's comment, he said something about, you know, there was a package in the mail every day. And I kind of went through that too. Now, again, as I discussed in my last video, I started selling hundreds and hundreds and getting into the thousands of books in 2000 through about 2005 or whatever. And for every 5 books I sold, I probably bought a book. In my mind, in those early 2000 aughts, what I was looking for were just some, pretty much just some Silver Age books that I always wanted and I had never acquired, or, you know, whatever the heck that was. There wasn't too much Bronze Age because I was buying the books in the 70s and, you know, through the 80s and Miller's Daredevil and Alan Moore's Swamp Thing and Watchmen and The Dark Knight and all that kind of stuff. You know, I was buying that stuff off the rack anyway. So I think in my early eBay years, I was kind of plugging some holes in the Silver Age back issue stuff. And again, they were just, you know, you could find incredible, monstrously incredible deals. Nick, I know you'll back me up on this, buddy. It was indeed a buyer's market at the time. People were slowly, as the decade progressed, were cottoning on to the CGC slabbing thing and all that kind of stuff. Here's a book. Wait, getting ahead of myself. Again, my back issue buying in those early 2000s, 2000 to 2005 or so, I was just filling in some of the Silver Age books that I had always wanted. And again, it was a buyer's market. Everything was so cheap. There are two things that I remember specifically collecting during that time. One was this book, which I became completely obsessed with, buying multiple copies. The Amazing Spider-Man number 100. I just went crazy in those years from 2000 to 2005, and I bought probably 14 or 16 copies of it. And again, in those days, and this actually, this is a message that we can stretch right into the modern age of today. In those early eBay years, you had to have a sharp eye for what you were looking at, because a lot of people selling comic books at the time, they would put up, kind of, shitty photographs and all that. Now, if the photograph was downright shitty, I wouldn't even bother. But if someone put up a half-decent photograph that I could discern what the hell was going on, but I had already had 25, 30 years of grading experience behind me. And my point here is, screw the grading companies. Anyone who wants to buy off of eBay without seeing the book in hand, develop your eye. Develop your eye. Develop your eye to what you're looking for in the scan. What you're seeing in the scan, there are all kinds of things that you can discern. Nonetheless, I bought about a dozen or 14 or 16 of these during the first half of the 2000s. The other thing I was collecting at the time as a buyer, at the same time I was selling just dozens and hundreds of books, I got into the Kirby pre-hero monster stuff. Tales to Astonish, Tales of Suspense, Strange Tales, that kind of stuff. And those books, they were pretty easily had. Now, they were, just as it is today, they were in the lower to mid-grades. And none of them were slabbed at the time or any kind of nonsense like that. You just had to, again, use your eye. Educate yourself. Use your eye. Know what you were looking at and what you are looking for when you're buying online and you don't have the book in your hand. When you have the book in your hand, there's no excuse. You have to know. You have to be educated in how to grade. But online, yeah, I get it. Anyway, so I was buying those Kirby pre-hero monster books, and I was hitting them heavy in around 2001, 2002, 2003. You could actually pick up those books for a scrutinizing, astute collector like myself. I could get lovely, very good to find copies of virtually all those books for anywhere from $10 to $25. And that was about the most I was willing to spend on any particular issue, was like $25, you know. But I actually was able to gather huge stacks, dozens and dozens and dozens of those things, which I since sold, of course. You know, I didn't keep them very long. I sold them in the latter half of the 2000 aughts. But nonetheless, it is what it is. We're probably running too long on this one too. Let me just show you a nice copy of Spidey 100. Very nice, very good. I'm looking at the money order receipt that's on the back of this board. This came from Kirkland, Washington. Yes. $15.50 shipped. $15.50 shipped. January 30th, 2001. Right? You could get beautiful, fine or better copies of Spidey 100 for $12 or $10 or $12 or $15 or whatever. Right? Anyway, all right. I'll get back again. Hope you don't mind me, fresh out of bed. I haven't combed my hair. I haven't taken a shower. I just threw a shirt on and came down here to talk to you. And actually, I'm pumped up. I'm going to go out there and get some coffee. So we'll continue this little discussion about the 2000 aughts and the eBay years the next time. Thanks for watching. See you later.